What's up, kids? It's Caleb here from the gameglyph. And I know the last time you guys saw me, I talked about how I was going to make a video called Saturn Day. Well, as you can tell, I didn't release it by last Saturday. Sorry, it's taken me a little extra longer. But to hold you over, here's a review of a classic action platforming Sega Genesis game that is often considered an overlooked gem. That's right, today we're talking about Boogerman on the Sega Genesis. Check it out. You want to fight butt goblins and pus monsters through nasal canals? Well, this is the game for you. Boogerman was published and released by Interplay in 1994 on the Sega Genesis and in 1995 in North America on the Super Nintendo. It's a side-scrolling action platforming game where you use B to jump, A to flick your boogers, and C to fart on people. You can hold down and C and release a powerful fart attack. There's various pickups, including a hot pepper that allows you to fly with your burning ass all over the screen. The game follows an unlikely superhero, a man that dresses in a cape that has powerful farts and boogers, trying to stop the evil Boogermeister from taking over the world and merging dimensions. Yeah, this game was often overlooked and is by some considered to be a hidden gem. It came out around the same time as Earthworm Jim and was released by the same company, but it received far less press and attention and therefore got less notoriety. Also, the context of the game is a little bit on the questionable side. Does everybody in the world want to see really gross stuff all the time or play a game that is literally completely contextually based around the most disgusting, grotesque, middle school mentality, garbage, recess humor that you can possibly imagine? Well, if you do, then this is the game for you.
If you had jalapenos and beans for every meal, you'd have an atomic butt blast too. Boogerman for Sega Genesis. Hey, boogers aren't his only weapon.
Wasn't me.
You like idle animations where if you leave your character on screen for too long without pressing a button, he picks his nose and then wipes his booger somewhere on his costume? Save that bad boy for later? Either way you look at it, Boogerman is actually a pretty good game, and I may have not appreciated it that much as a child, but as I've gotten older I can appreciate the game for what it is. It's a very well-drawn, sprite-based platforming action-adventure game. Each level has multiple different zones to it and allows you to fight a boss at the end of each world. At the very end of the game you fight Boogermeister to try to save the world, and he's actually pretty hard. This game has just enough challenge to be actually pretty interesting and fun to play. There isn't really that much difference between the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis version, other than that the sprites are a little bit larger and more colorful on the Super Nintendo version, but for some reason the music lends itself a lot better to the Sega Genesis sound engine. Another one of those rare examples like Earthworm Jim, where the game is actually slightly better on the Sega Genesis in most people's opinions. Yes, there may be more colors and slightly larger sprites in the Super Nintendo version, but the detail seems a little bit higher and the overall game seems to run a lot smoother on the Sega Genesis version. So is Boogerman good? Yeah, Boogerman is a really gross, fun time. In fact, I'd give Boogerman 45 farts out of a full fart sandwich. Try Boogerman on Sega Genesis. You might just like the way it smells. Yeah, so this game is really disgusting, isn't it? It's all about like Yes, just what every kid wanted. A game about burping and farting.